Hello, my name's Lee Harris. I'm the lead designer on Objects in Space, and this is a video walkthrough where I'm going to show you some combat. Last time we did one of these, I was taking a contract that was to show off how the buying, selling, and trading system worked, but this time I'm going to try and take on the Red Storm, which is a Shark-class dangerous threat level bounty contract with a reward of 5,500 odd credits. The chances of me pulling this off are very, very low. It's in a nearby star system called PLY 505, which I can jump to because I just bought an incredibly large jump drive. But as you can see from my bank balance here, I don't have a lot of money left, which is a problem because I did not also buy a large generator to cope with my very large jump drive. This was not part of the setup for the script. I actually made that mistake. So I'm going to make up for it by taking out loans. All of the loans. And this can be Tomorrow Lee's problem. So I'm going to head over to the mechanical post, take a look at modules. I'll have to sell my existing generator, get a few extra grand. 9,800 isn't bad. And let's find the one I was looking for. Here we go. A Mark IV Akimov generator. 15 kilowatts a second and boot time of only 2 seconds. Hopefully it's going to be worth every penny of that 8 grand. Now let's get out of here. Farewell, penitent. Goodbye, drive system bar. Hello and goodbye, person with headphones. I'm going to request undocking permission. Head through the airlock. Close the door behind me because safety first. And begin the undocking procedure. So, I'm going to, if I check my PDA here, PLY 505. PLY 505 is just given a designation rather than a name because it's a system with no one in it, so it's going to be a little dangerous, but that's okay, that's what we're here for. I'll set it as my destination, return to sector view, and you can see on the minimap down here, the quadrant I need to be in to make this jump is flashing pink. So I'm the little flashing white dot down here. I need to go into somewhere to the top right of the sun. I'll do that now. Let autopilot take me there. And I'll use a new feature we've added since the last time we did one of these videos, which is time compression. You can see we've got a couple of other ships flying around here as well. The Nautica 7, which is a green circle because it's a merchant ship. Leander class freighter. Type is merchant. And the Swallow, which is a blue, almost rectangle, and that's an authority vessel. So it's probably catching up to the Nautica to scan it right now and make sure it's not carrying any illegal goods. Oh, it's doing the same to me. There we go. Prepare to be scanned. I am traveling with my IFF off. This is entirely correct. I've decided to not have my IFF on for reasons of not wanting to let the pirates know where I am when I get to the other side. So, my ship is in the correct quadrant, it's come to a complete stop, my jump drive is powered up, it didn't do too much damage to my overall power rating thanks to my fancy new generator, and I'm going to calculate the jump solution. I can jump before it gets to 100% if I want my jump to be less accurate, but accuracy is important when jumping because the last thing you want is to suddenly find yourself appearing slightly off course inside a deadly nebula or an asteroid belt, and that absolutely can happen. So it's kind of on you. You can jump early if you want to, if there's a torpedo that's just about to hit you or something, but on your own head be it. I'm going to put on a little space music, because why not? If we're hunting pirates, it can't hurt to have a little bit of tunage. And here we are in PLY. Most of it's still fog of war at the moment, so since I'm all the way down in the very bottom left here, I'm going to set a course roughly upwards, get some speed going on my ship, and just let us drift for a while, see what we can see. These blue nebulae here, they act as hiding places. So if I'm inside one of those, it's a little harder for people to see me, but I can also see out with relative ease. So it's a great way for just sort of lurking. If you know there's a ship nearby and they're looking for you, you can hide inside one of them. Another thing it does is obscure your own emissions. So at the moment, when I started out, I put some acceleration on when I was out in open space. And every time I use my main drive like that, it's going to give away my position. Not completely 100% every time, but it makes it easier for people to see where I am. So if I want to make any course adjustments from this point, I'm better off doing it when I hit one of these nebulae. It'll just make it a little harder for people to tell when I change course. What I can also do, if I want to be really stealthy, is adjust the amount of thrust that I give my main power. So if I want to make my main drive only 40%, then it means I'm going to be 40% as visible every time I use it. Now, this messy looking nebula over here is different to the blue ones. It causes electrical damage to my ship's systems whilst I go through it. It still gives me cover the same way as before, but I can be guaranteed to take a real pounding, so I don't want to go in there. Similar with asteroid belts, except they'll attack my hull instead of my ship's systems. Up here on this same screen I was at before, you can see the damage display. This tells me what's going on with my hull. It's currently nominal, which is fine, but if I were to hit a few asteroids, the different segments of my hull would start flashing yellow, then orange, and then red to indicate damage, and it would be described. And the way that works... Oh, hold on. We've got a question mark. Question mark is a potential object that has not yet been fully identified, but I'm willing to bet this one's not a pirate because it's inside a purple nebula. If it's in a blue nebula, maybe. Pirates often like to hide in those and sneak up on you, but this one, no way. So if I look up on the sensor screen here, this is what I'm actually detecting. It's a tiny little blip, tiny spike, on a frequency that would normally belong to a weapons module. Now, I don't think that's anything because the spike is incredibly small, and because if a ship were there spinning up its weapons module, but it didn't have its main reactor on, or it wasn't also using its main drive, or spinning up its RCS system, or any of those things, yeah. So your sensor system will also reach the same conclusion as you and automatically remove any question marks which are deemed to be not ships. And it's done exactly that, which is what we did slightly ahead of time. And as you become more adept at clicking on the different question marks and guessing whether or not they're ships, you can decide whether or not to take evasive action or maybe go into stealth mode. Speaking of which, this bar in the middle of the screen here, which is displaying 4 out of 5 bars lit, is our stealth meter. 4 out of 5 means we are very visible right now. So if we wanted to, we could click this button to go into MCON mode. That would drop down to 2 bars. It means we're much more stealthy, but you'll notice that we're no longer gaining any power. Oh crap, okay, I found the red storm. That was way quicker than I was expecting. It's good thing I'm in stealth mode. I'm going to get a torpedo ready in case I can kill it. So it's spinning up. The more charge I give it, the longer it will be able to continue firing, moving before it has to explode. And you can see each ship has a blind spot behind it. So if I want to make a course correction right now, the red storm would see me. If I do anything right now, the red storm's going to see me. Thankfully, I was in stealth mode. So if I can just get behind into that blind spot, then I can make all the course corrections, avoid that deadly red nebula, and suddenly be in pursuit and on its tail. So to that end... Oh, everything's out of power. This is bad. I can vaguely see it while it's flickering. Okay, I think I'm safe. Let's give me some power back. I want main drive at full. And let's make the turn. Before I hit the nebula. So as long as the red storm is facing left, I can make all the turns I want and they can't see me, which is absolutely fantastic. Oh, okay, that's bad. They made a turn. Did my weapon spin up? Yes, it did. Fantastic. I'm going to set the red storm as my target and fire. And because I'm convinced the red storm already saw me, I'm just going to spin up another torpedo straight away. You can see my torpedoes away. I was not expecting to bump into that so quickly. It's a fast vessel as well. That torpedo's barely making any ground between me and it. Should be okay. Alright, just for safety, I'm going to fire a second torpedo. You always want to keep on firing on your enemy until they are destroyed. And we've got another question mark here, which I'm betting is nothing, which is good because I don't need the distraction. Now, if the red storm decides to turn around and fire on me, I'm still in their wake. There's a chance they didn't see me when they made that course correction earlier. Speaking of which, I'm in their blind spot again, so I might do another one of my own. Hope hope I don't accidentally get caught in any explosions with these missiles, but what can you do? My third and final torpedo. Now, if the Red Storm did decide to turn around and shoot at me, and I was in their situation with a whole bunch of torpedoes coming at me, I also outfitted my ship with 4 countermeasures, which I can drop without requiring any power, but they are finite and I need to go back to a starbase to buy more. And I've got a Kruger Interstellar point defense laser, which I can use indefinitely but chews up power like it's going out of fashion. And you can see, oh, the tail on that first torpedo's just gone red. That means it's using its active sensors to try and home in directly. So if they didn't realize they had torpedoes on their tail then, they certainly do now. They would be hearing all kinds of pinging noises right now. You can see how the power is doing. This is why you definitely want to charge your torpedoes up to as high as possible, is because it gives them much more life before they expire. The first one we fired is probably 60-ish% left. Question is, do we think it's gained 60% of the distance between us and the Red Storm? It's like halfway, so it's kind of hard to tell. It's possible that first torpedo is going to expire before it makes the distance. And if that happens, we're not necessarily in trouble because we fired a second one, but we only have one more after that, and sometimes a single torpedo is not enough to destroy a ship. It's making a turn again. I'm dropping into stealth mode just in case it can only see the torpedoes and doesn't yet know that I'm here. But this isn't bad for us because if it closes the gap on those torpedoes, we don't need to worry about how much power they've got. In fact, if they're closing the distance on us, now would be a good time to fire a third. Alright, I'm coming out of stealth mode just in case I need to make any turns of my own. I realize that the Red Storm can see me, but for how long are they going to be alive? They may not be a threat any second now. So close. The power is nearly dead on that first torpedo. Such a fast ship. It's making its way into that nebula. I wonder what it's hoping to achieve in there. Any second now. First one's out of power completely. First one's down. It exploded, did not kill the Red Storm. It must have missed by a fraction of a second. There's the explosion. Transient object number 23. Boom! Second one hit it. The Red Storm is gone. Explosion detected on bearing 206 degrees. Oh, and our first torpedo doesn't know what to do with itself. It's trying to hit a ship that's no longer there. Oh. Oh no, that's bad. It's coming directly for us. Okay, this is where countermeasures come in handy. Drop countermeasure. It's circled completely around the countermeasure. You can see the debris of the other ship. Point defense lasers. Oh, this is not good. I may have destroyed myself and overcooked the number of those torpedoes. Oh, this is bad. My weapons monitor is bent. Let's see what the damage is. The damage wasn't too bad, actually. Only a battery took a little bit of light damage. So we could, at this point, open it up and fix anything that was wrong with it, but I'll save that for another video. Thank you very much for watching. Objects in Space has just released on early access for Steam and GOG, and we hope you enjoy it.